Greetings, guten Tag, Talafalava, bonjour, bonjour. This is Dr. Snowbrown, speaking to all the masses. Anyway, this evening, I am preaching about a serious case of torture and cruelty, and who has actually committed this so-called heinous crime. Well, it's none other than Kainga House in New Zealand. This evening, today, and this would have been the third time, I arrived at about 5:47 to try and get into the building. This building that has 12 apartments in it, 11 being occupied, and the, is actually 8 Flora McCurdy Walk, in town, apart 5018. Anyway, I tried to come into the building using the 2 tags. The old tag, I know. I had to ring up Jason on the 22nd of June. This is the new tenancy manager, Jason Van Gent. That's great. You gave me a new tag that you dropped off on the 26th of June in an envelope in my mailbox. That's great. So the expectation I have is that the new tag is going to work. Well, Lord and behold, I came in yesterday, right about in the evening as well, to try and get into this building using both tags. I tried the old tag and the new tag that my tenancy manager had given to me on the 26th of June. Lord and behold, it didn't work. That main door downstairs on the ground level at the entrance of this building at 8 Flora McCurdy Walk. My flat's number 11, 2 flights of stairs upstairs. That door wouldn't release, And I was just totally confused. That's correct. So I'm thinking, I can't understand this. The old tag, yeah, I know that doesn't work. Now the new tag doesn't work. So I rang up Housing New Zealand yesterday to try and see if they could send somebody out to get me inside this building. And Lord and behold, finally a kind neighbor, I think overheard my telephone communication and so forth. Wasn't long before he came and opened the door for me to come in. So I had to cancel that job. That's correct. So today I went to Fig Tree Cafe for the first time ever, and I had a blast. And I took my washing down to the first time at the laundromat here on Princess Street. First time ever. So I had to learn how to get the card and so forth. Anyway, came this evening at 5:47, tried to get into this building. And this is the third time using a tag. That's great. Only this time it's the new tag. I couldn't believe it that the tag didn't work. The tag didn't work, just like yesterday. So I had to ring up Kainga Housing New Zealand, and most tenancy managers do not work on weekends, to see if they can get somebody out to come and fix the problem, to get me inside the building, because I've been denied 3 times. This is the 3rd time that I've been denied. So they said, right, you're going to have to wait for 4 hours. 4 hours. Now, it was freezing outside there. I was sitting on the park bench, but it's just as well I had an emergency blanket. 3 hours, that's great. Finally, I had to ring up Kainga again at 9:46. 9:46 I came to check, oh yeah, the front door is now open, but that's not the issue. The issue is I shouldn't be denied access to the building. That's correct, where I actually live inside. There's an apartment where my flat is 2 flights of stairs. So I had to ring Housing New Zealand to say, you know what? What's happened to, it's almost 10:30. And this is around about 9:46 in the evening. And they said that they did try to call you. And around about 8, but they couldn't get through. It was going to the answer phone. And I said, that's a lie, because I turned off the ringing sound. There is a notification bell. That's correct. Normally I turn it off if I'm not going to be able to hear a ringing sound. So I said, that's a lie. I don't think they called at all. And they could have actually texted. I said, never mind, the door has opened now, but looks like this matter is going to be resolved on Monday. But now, and I said to the staff, I think I now know who the culprit is. This is very serious. In fact, I'm wanting to press criminal charges. I'm wanting to press criminal charges because I was locked outside the building for over 3 hours. That's great. This evening, and it's stupid to have these kind of, I'm thinking, this is not even happening. This is not necessary. That's great. I get to the point where, maybe should I call 111? Or should I call 105? Or should I call the fire engine? That's great. It's not on when everybody inside this building seems to be able to enjoy. That's great. They're inside, warm and in the dry. That's great. And there's me outside, freezing, shivering like anything, under an emergency blanket. That's great. And it's not even necessary. Now, those tanks have to work. So what did I discover? While I was sitting out there, it suddenly dawned on me that Jason Van Gent, the Tennessee manager, has been taking directions from somebody and not only ignored to turn up on the 19th of so-called July. That's great. To have the relocation of the alarm system and so forth. But now he gave me a new tank that doesn't even work. But I learned through him that there was another staff who was the staff that actually made me sign my original so-called tenancy agreement inside this building, this address. And his name was Reon Hartley. Now, of course, Reon Hartley was a tenancy manager at that time. Now, he told me, that's great, he is now the asset manager. And it clicked in my brain this evening while I was out there, while I was talking to Kainga, the second call, that I said, you know what, there's one person that I know is in charge of this building. And that is to do with the exit and the entrance and even the main door, any security stuff, anything to do with the so-called structures, anything inside these flats. There's only one person I'm going to hold accountable, and that's Reon Hartley. That's correct, who has just become the new asset manager. I'm sorry, Reon Hartley, but I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but this is not on, buddy. You're the asset manager. You're in charge of the security. Yeah, that's correct. So it will be video surveillance? I'm pretty sure. Jason Van Gent is in charge of the tenancy, the managing of our tenancy. But you're in charge of this building. So you would have been the one that would have given Jason Van Gent the tags. That's correct. So I am now wondering exactly that you're the only one that knows how you have to be an associate of this local gang organization, the Mongo Mob Association, because the majority, I suddenly realized, why are there so many MMB members inside this building all of a sudden? Just in the last 2 years, that's great. And it dawned on me again. It's because Reon Hartley is the asset manager. And he is the one, the culprit, the culprit, that's great, that has been applying the arbitrary dictatorships and criminal protocols. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're the same staff, the same crooked, dodgy staff that also allowed these criminals to move inside this building. That's correct. So that you have been applying, looks like Reon, and I'm talking about you, no, serious, Reon Hartley, that now I'm convinced you are the what? The rogue? The culprit. That has had me doubt to inside this building via the unlawful entries, the trespassing, by the tenants inside this building. So you would be the one that know about the criminal activities that's been going on inside this building. That means any trespassing, any unlawful entries, home invasions, a lot of the harms that have taken place inside my address. I hold you accountable now, mister. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like you and the Minister of Housing will now be held accountable. That's correct. Because it looks like Jason Van Gent has been taking directions from you, Reon Hartley. But I've yet to know for sure, who are you, Reon Hartley? I don't think don't think you're a legally binding asset manager. The fact that you actually deliberately deactivated the tags that you gave me is serious. It's serious. And this is not the first time. This is the third time. Now I'm going to want to press criminal charges against you and the Minister of Housing, that's correct, for applying criminal harmful protocols inside this building, MB, KKK, and also arbitrary dictatorships. That's correct. No, I'm serious. All the criminal stuff that's been going on inside this building, the unlawful entry, the trespassing, the police entering also inside my flat. Reon, Hartley, you know about that. You know all about it. That's correct. And don't use my mental disorder. I don't have a mental disorder at the moment. I've got common sense, but people like you should not be employed at all. Just like Jason Van Gent should not be employed at all. If he's been taking directions from you, Reon, that's great. Then this can only mean that you would have to be an associate of the criminals inside this building. You've been allowing them you have actually been aiding and abetting their criminal activities inside this building. Without a doubt. And I don't trust your judgment at all, buddy. No, not at all. If you deactivate the tags 3 times, that's correct. No, I'm seriously wanting to press criminal charges against you, as well as the minister, for all the unlawful entries, the trespassing, and also the other harms that have been going on inside this building. If you're in charge, you're the asset manager, you're in charge of this building, then you should be doing your job properly, buddy. I mean, legally, it's correct. You obviously been allowing the tenants inside this building to do what they like, whether it be teaching, or now you are actually teaching me a lesson. But you see, I'm a noble. That's correct. You ought to be sacked from your job. That when I file my restraining order, your name will be on the order. That's correct, and you'll be sacked, kicked out of this building. I don't know what's happened to you, Reon, Hartley. In fact, I don't even know you. But the fact that that's right, the fact that you actually denied access, it is very unsafe, it is unprofessional and unethical to have me locked outside of the building. That's correct. And it is stupid as well. You want to lose your fucking job? Go ahead. You keep on applying these arbitrary dictatorships and criminal protocols on behalf of these criminals inside this building, and you will end up either dead or, that's correct, without a job, on the streets. That's correct. But you better stop. You better stop applying these arbitrary dictatorships. I guess I'm going to presume that you must be another Moikolo, like the rest of them inside this building? Are you another pervert like the police officers that be coming in and screwing them? Because I'm starting to pick up, yeah, that's great. I do not like you, Reon, Hartley. Not at all. Not after what I endured today. Being out there for over 3 hours, that's correct. And it's ridiculous to think that, oh my God, is this even necessary? Why am I outside in the cold? That's correct. These tags should work. This is not funny at all. I don't think it's funny for my neighbors to laugh at me outside, that's correct, trying to keep myself warm. This is not on, Reon. This is your fuck up and this is your mess. That's correct. This is where you, as an asset manager, it's no wonder Deborah Johnson was applying. So what was Deborah Johnson applying? Criminal protocols and arbitrary dictatorships on behalf of a criminal organization? Whether it be KKK or MB? Oh my God, Reon, you are going, buddy, behind jailbird! You got the nerve! I got every right to scream at you! Oh my God, don't say, la fa'ofialu, bolenga makai kumai. Man, you people, the rest of you, you need to get the hell out of this building. That's great. This building should be qualified. That's correct. Without the dodgy connection and the bad connection. No, I'm serious. We ought to get a new Minister of Housing. That's correct. Reon Hartley, your name is now going to be on the restraining order because you're an associate. That's correct. And it looks like every other dumb tenancy manager that has come into this building to manage the so-called, the tenancies inside this building, looks like they are all associates of the criminal organization. But Reon Hartley, as far as I'm concerned, when I initially signed the so-called tenancy to bring me here, I don't remember ever signing an agreement, let alone agreeing for you to apply arbitrary dictatorships and any criminal protocols from a criminal organization. I don't think we ever spoke about that. I don't think there was ever an indication that you could be part, that you could be an associate. How was I supposed to know that? Not until now, this evening, when my brain clicked. That's correct. You're not only arrogant, but you are another son of a bitch, just like the rest of them. But Jason Van Gent, oh my God, you're another unqualified person. Well, it's no wonder it's taken ages for the address downstairs to be ready for me to move into. It's because either Reon Hartley looks like he's taking, some sort of dictatorship. He's taking some dictatorship from somebody else. That's correct. And then Jason Van Dien is taking directions from him. But it looks like the police intelligence unit is involved. Right. You all better sort this out. I'm not putting up with this nonsense where I come to use the tags to try and get into the fucking building. And I'm being denied access to come into it. This is not on. This is not on. That's why you people deserve the death penalty. No, it is cruel. That's correct. And so that's why I will insist on pressing criminal charges. Right, you all take care now. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But at least I know now that the culprit is Reon Hartley. Get a life, eh? Get the hell out. Either you hand in your resignation. That's correct. You're not going to win over me. Sir, overstep. Don't you dare apply any bullshit from these criminals. If you're an associate, get out. Get out of the fucking building and get out of your job. That's correct. You're not doing it properly. You hear me? You're fucked up tonight. That's correct. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.